Picked up, looks like about 4 inches of snow this morning. My partner and I are going to head out in the 2 bullies. This is my baby here. This is a 3.1 2012 model PB100. 3.1 with the wide tracks. You can see I've got an extra belt sticking out right here. And then my partner is going to be in the 2017 PB100. That's a 2.5 model. A little narrower tracks, narrower tiller, blade. Same size chassis. Horsepower is real comparable. Cab's about the same size. Before we head out, these machines do take a little bit of checking. I always take a flashlight and check the tires, check the antifreeze and oil, check some tire guide bolts, make sure everything's in order. Having the machine thawed makes it very easy to do a quick check. We're looking good there. Tire pressures look like they're hard. Antifreeze is up. Oil's good. We'll walk around to the back and check the tiller and some tiller bolts and the oils. All right, so hydraulic fluid's extremely important. I haven't seen any leaks, so I expect to see it in the sight glass. And there it is, red, and it's in the reservoir, not on the ski trail. And then I always check the 2 big tiller bolts here, make sure they're tight, and they do look tight. Everything's looking good on the tiller and track setter. I'll check the other side for tire guides and tires. We're looking good here. All the tire guide bolts are in. Tires have pressure. Everything's looking good. Getting a little bit of wear on the back sprocket. We'll have to keep an eye on those later in the season. This is a stretch along the river, probably one of the prettiest spots on the trail system. This time of year you can see the river to the right is still open. That's the Montreal River. It's a whole different state on the other side, Wisconsin. Open probably for another week or so. All right, we're coming up on a culvert here that's kind of obnoxious early season and late season. What we're going to do is blade a little snow on it, and then I'm going to go into up pressure on the joystick, change my depth of cut, go into less down pressure, thin it out, and then it's real important that I go back into those same settings. I've got a gauge for depth of cut. It's up here kind of tucked out of sight, but you know, it's a little bit of a nuisance making all the adjustments, but you can farm snow with the tiller in addition to the blade if you're using some of those controls. The little rocker switch right here is for down pressure. I'm in full down pressure right now. This is float. We don't use that too often. And then this is up pressure when we want to lift up just a little bit, not bear down on things so much. fragile areas, thin areas. And then the joystick also controls the 2 track setters. These are the trackpan buttons here. And then on the right there's another rocker switch that lifts the tiller. You always want to make sure that's locked down so it follows. And then we have the 12-way blade up front. So you've got 4 functions here. And when you push the button, you get an extra function. Actually an extra 4 functions. It's a 12-way blade. See the windshield staying defrosted. If you look at the hoses going through the windshield wipers, those are running engine coolant. It's a pretty slick system. Probably a $500 wiper. So you want to make sure your branches and brush are trimmed back. If a branch hooks one of those coolant lines, you will need to jump out quickly, and there's a ball valve on the front of the bully you want to shut off, or you'll be without coolant. You can see the brush trimming here's been taken care of. We talked about that in one of our earlier YouTube videos, trimming brush out on the ski trail. We're trimming it not only so it doesn't annoy the skiers, but also so it doesn't damage the PistenBully. This PistenBully's got over 2,000 hours, and I have the original wipers and I have the original mirrors, and I'm proud of that.